Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning outlook video updated on Friday the 20th of July. A little bit messy, but not doing a great deal in the next few days. A lot of low cloud around, particularly across western mountains, will be rather frustrating. Bits and pieces of rain from time to time, often of a drizzly nature. Next week, then, temperatures will tend to rise as the airflow is from the south, becoming increasingly hot and humid for many places, but with that scope of something thundery developing with time as well. Let's have a look at the weekend. We've got a slack pressure pattern on Saturday. A weakening front is slipping away southwards, but it's left a legacy of a damp atmosphere, so a murky start to Saturday morning for many places. Cloud across the hills to various quite low levels. Bits and pieces of mist and drizzle just in place too. Cloud bases tend to lift through the day, best across more eastern parts of the Scottish Highlands, lifting towards many higher tops in England and Wales, but might just struggle to clear some western areas. And a warm front comes into the Western Highlands later to fill back in with low cloud, mist and drizzle. Now the wind fairly light during Saturday for many places, but on Sunday I think strengthening a touch, particularly across northwestern Scotland. We've got fronts trailing in across the northern and northwestern Highlands, giving outbreaks of rain and drizzle, never really amounting to too much the further inland you go, but western coastal hills could be rather damp much of the day. And a generally more humid atmosphere behind a fairly weak warm front will lead to extensive low cloud for many regions, lowest around western coast, right the way up from Wales to the lakes and western Scotland, lifting a touch during the day, but those western hills could be a struggle to get any proper breaks much of the day on Sunday, and temperatures nothing too special despite being fairly humid. Now, tricky with details, the pressure pattern is quite slack. We've got fronts that are trailing in a slow-moving nature. Not too much on them. We've got bits and pieces of rain or drizzle. You might find an isolated heavier burst of a shower somewhere across, say, northern eastern parts of Scotland, perhaps the Pennines during Monday. But it leaves that legacy again of low cloud across many western hills, highest cloud bases more toward the east and the northeast. The Cairngorm's not doing too bad perhaps. It will all depend, I suppose, just where these fronts do come to rest in terms of what sort of a day you have. You could just escape in just a fairly cloudy picture. You could be very damp for a good number of hours. Meanwhile, temperatures across England and Wales very warm and humid, but again, it's nothing too special. Despite the talk of a heat wave, most of the mountain regions actually temperatures only in the high teens in the valleys and the glens. And fronts continue to sort of split the difference between northwest and southeast across Britain into Tuesday. Hot and humid in southeast England, but temperatures again nothing too special north and west. Again, it will depend exactly where that front comes to rest. Not too much on it. Might just be a local heavy shower, just break out somewhere across perhaps the Pennines and Wales, but a lot of the time it's just bits and pieces of mist and drizzle. But where you're under that front, you'll hang on to low cloud. Bear in mind this could be a bit further back northwest, it could be a bit further down southeast. So some places could have a very poor day, whilst away from that front actually you could brighten up. And behind the front across much of the Highlands, actually you could get away with not such a bad day. The northeastern parts of Scotland faring probably best for the highest cloud breaks. So fairly low confidence of details through into midweek, all a rather slack pressure pattern with bits of old fronts still around, so keep a close eye on your local details before making absolute plans at this stage. Basically, I think the story continues into midweek and a lot will depend on how things are panned out early in the period. Generally, high pressure tries to be established across much of England and Wales and maybe getting into Scotland too, but we're always on the cusp of seeing fronts trailing past west and northwest Scotland, bringing some further rain. It may well be that winds strengthen with the flow of air coming up from the south. It tries to get more hot and humid air, though, pumped further northwards with time next week. I think much of the heat could be confined for central and southern Britain, but I think temperatures will lift as the week progresses. And then it's just watching to see if that heat and humidity triggers off anything more widely thundery. We've got essentially a trough of low pressure trying to nudge in from the west to destabilise things. The heat is being driven by the airflow from the south-southeast and high pressure focused towards Scandinavia. And almost that sort of weather regime is the one that may well take us to the end of the month and even into early August too. So when you look at the pressure anomalies for a full week, that's 7 days through until the 9th of August, we look something like that. Many of the models in reasonable agreement at this stage. High pressure is very much still focused around Scandinavia, as it commonly has been in many recent months, in fact. The airflow is coming in from the south-southeast, perhaps even a bit of an easterly in there at some point. Low pressure is looking likely to be towards the west-southwest of us, trying to push something thundery in occasionally out of Biscay. That general story then of being fairly warm, fairly humid, and with the risk of some thundery rain at times has to be the theme into the first week or so of August. So we'll keep an eye on those developments. We'll try and update this video again by Monday to give you the full look at the week ahead, with a bit of uncertainty just at this stage on how the midweek onwards does pan out. Keep an eye on those local details too for all your mountain regions via our website. Thanks for watching this video today. Bye for now.